going on, YouTube? Dude Heat. Today we're going to be doing a real versus fake comparison of the Jordan 1 Off-White Chicago. Now this sneaker may be the most sought after Off-White from my understanding in the collection, and I was browsing YouTube because I wanted to see if there was a good comparison out there, and there's a couple. I have one pair here that's real, one pair that's fake, and I thought, why don't we do that comparison? Give you a little backstory. Actually, before I even do that, why don't you just let me know in the comments right now, which pair is the authentic and which pair is the fake? While you guys are thinking about that, and let me know in the comments down below, I'm going to tell you the backstory about this pair. So, one of the pairs I bought retail from the Jumpman store in Toronto about a year ago. So this shoe's been out for over a year, and the other pair I just got as kind of something just to use for the video. I don't know if you guys see my UNC Off-White comparison video, but I got a replica pair loaned to me, and I'm not going to mention his name, but I've actually known him for quite a while. We first met actually a few years ago. I bought a pair of kicks off him, some Reebok Kamikazes, actually several years ago. And we kind of just stayed in touch, and he's the type of guy that has reals and fakes and doesn't really care. You know, he's just kind of like, it doesn't matter if someone calls me out, it's all good and whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, what you want to do with your life doesn't really affect me by any means. And he told me, dude, I know you have the authentics. Do you want to do a comparison? Because I just got a really, really good pair of replicas in. And I'm like, I mean, the last video where you let me do a comparison did quite well. So I was like, if that's okay with you before you wear them, I think that would work. My pair is dead stock, as long as yours is dead stock as well. And I'm like, I don't know if we're the same size. And he's like, yeah, I'm a 10.5 on this pair. I'm like, oh, I'm using 11.5, but I only got a 10.5. That's all I could get. So this comparison is literally like a one-to-one kind of thing. So that's the backstory. What'd you guys think, though? Which one was real? And which one was fake? The left or the right? And this pair is fake. This is the fake pair right here. See if I can turn this up. This pair is 100% fake. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's a very convincing fake. It's actually a pretty scary fake, especially for those that don't have retail in hand. Let's be honest, not many people do. If you are watching this video, you're probably going to buy, or you're looking to buy a retail pair, and you're trying to compare maybe what the seller's showing you to retail. Now let me show you the retail pair here. Give you guys a good look. I'm sorry for the lighting, I'm filming this in the evening. But I mean, if you... Can anyone spot any differences right off the bat? There is one difference that I can spot, and I only know that after looking at these for a very long time. And I'm going to show you guys that in a second. So let's start right with the box, because there's a lot of ways to tell right before we even touch the shoes. We can get a general understanding as to whether the shoe is real or not just by the box. So this is the fake box. Fakes are always going to be on the left, and we're going to keep the authentic box on the right. What do you guys see right away? Script seems pretty much the same to me. Just gonna turn this up for us. So what I noticed on my pair is that the actual Jumpman had a little bit of white. I don't know if that is just from my pair, from it being stacked multiple times, and it's kind of just rubbing off. So let's not use that. But look at the embossing on that Jumpman. Pretty clear, huh? Now look at this one. A little more faint, I would say. You can't really see the top of his body. It's between the two. The legs are a little more defined. Now that's tough. That's like, that's not a really good indicator. Size of the box are the same. Let's check out the tags. Or the box labels, rather. Fake on the left, real on the right. 10.5. 10.5. Look, you guys can tell right away. Let's see right here. It's almost like a see-through white, whereas that's a bright white. So I would look right away to those tags. Make sure this is a crispy, bright white. The other thing I noticed was, if you look at the fonts, look at the 10, look at the 0. Now look at it over here. It's almost easier if I do this. Remember, fake is on the bottom, retail on the top. 10, 10. Look at that 0. The 0 is almost a little longer, huh? So I would look there. Now, in terms of the bottom of the shoe, or bottom of the box rather, there was also this big black sticker on the retail. Everything else seemed to be pretty much the same. No sticker. Okay, so that's an obvious one. Make sure there's a sticker. The other thing is, look at the box. It's kind of beat up. That's typically how it is. Some authentics, it's just shipped properly, right? It's shipped with care. This is just kind of thrown in a box from China. It's just kind of shipped over. Let's check the box here. Nothing on this side. Fake here. Let's see here. I don't see too many differences there, to be honest. So I wouldn't really even consider that. In terms of inside, there is a distinct difference. Now, let's keep in mind, not all the fakes are the same, but look at the paper. This is exactly how the paper came. That pattern is different than my pattern. That's a big telltale sign. I'd say the actual the material of it, pretty much identical. Two Jumpman, both embossed, both in gold. That's pretty much the same. There's always going to be one layer of tissue, just like the authentic. So they got that right. And then the laces. Mine are still all dead stock. This is how they got bound up when I first picked up my pair. When I got this pair, and I don't know if this is how he got it, but it's actually folded a little differently. It's the fake. And that's the real. It's almost a little tighter, definitely a little tighter on the fakes. A little looser and almost a bit more sloppy on the reals. I don't know how to tell the shoelaces. I haven't even looked into the differences there. I wouldn't even bother going into that. If someone knows, then you can let me know in the comments down below, but I would say that's it for the boxes. Of course, seller doesn't have a receipt and has some sort of fishy story. You gotta kind of be a little weary. So let's put the boxes aside. Let's get into the actual sneakers. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use, for now, the left shoe. I'll leave these shoes like that. Okay? Remember, replica, authentic. Let's start with the Jumpman. So what I'm going to do is also put the replica on the bottom. I'll put the authentic on the top. Okay? Here's the Jumpman on the authentic. Oops. Sorry about that. This is shitty. That's a little better. One of the ways for Jordan 1 is always check if your R and your D are connected. Why isn't this focusing? God damn it. Yeah. And if you look at these, same sort of situation. They're connected. One thing I would say is that the Jumpman, this wings I mean, is less embossed. So that's the authentic. It's the replica. Replica, authentic. The embossing there. The embossing there. It's a little more crisp, especially when I feel it. It's still embossed, but not as much. Replica, authentic. So for one thing is the wings. Make sure the wings tip is always pointing that top. Look here, it's kind of right in the middle. That's what I noticed. It's not really angled. Whereas look at the authentic. That tip is pretty much pointing that top shoe hole or lace hole. 100% check the wings. Okay. Now look at the suede. Okay. Look at these defined holes. Look at this one. It's kind of sloppy when you look at it. Not so defined. Look at this. Look how clear and defined and crisp that is. Look how clear and defined and crispy those holes are. Look here. It's kind of sloppy. And that's definitely sloppy there. That's not clear and crisp. Shit's weak. The other thing I'll look at are these orange tabs. See how there's some space between that second stitching line and the orange tab? Look at this one. Almost touching. Almost touching. I can't say every single flaw is going to be the same, but just make sure there's that little space. I'm not saying that means they're authentic, but make sure. 100%. Other thing is the end of the swoosh. That's glued right on there. Now it is on both of them, but I know some cheaper fakes I've seen in the past. This is just flopping everywhere. Automatic, that's a fake. Now the tip should pretty much align with the wings tip. I can't say 100% that's what's going to happen on every pair. See, this one kind of exceeds it a little bit. Whereas, look here, it's almost a little short. Yeah, I'm sorry, my lighting is pitiful. Crazy. It's authentic. Sorry about that. I took a second to add a bit more brightness, but that's that. Alright, now let's look at the actual suede. It's almost like a gray. Whereas on the authentic, it's closer to like a beige. See the difference there? Gray, beige. So it should look like. And they just haven't got the color match properly. It looks almost gray to me. With those sloppy holes. And the last thing I'm going to say is, just on this side of the shoe, look at the air. A lot of people said make sure your air is lined up, your eye is lined up with the stitching. I mean, this is my authentic pair. It kind of proves that's not true. The replica, the eye lines up perfectly. The authentic, it doesn't, it's slightly off. So I would say that's not really a great indicator. Could be true, but you know, obviously if it happens on the rep, then it's not really something you can look at. The swoosh, look at the height of the swoosh there. And look at the height here. It's too low. Yeah, put this here. Yeah. So again, replica, authentic. Look at the swoosh. Look at the swoosh here. It's a little higher. It's definitely a little bit higher. Make sure your swoosh isn't too low. Okay. And then on the the last thing I'll kind of say is this is, to me, this is like the #1 indicator for me. Actually, let me flip these. So just now when I was like, oh, how am I really gonna know? Yeah, there is a way to know. You have to look at this the stitching in the heel. See if we can get a good look at it. Not so great. I'm so sorry for this. It's a little better. Look at the heel stitching. It's almost like it was hand cut. Look at this one. It's way too precise. Doesn't look hand cut at all. Looks like it looks like it's completely manufactured. Whereas here, there are imperfections. It's less defined. Again, look at the rep. It's so perfect. It's completely symmetrical. That's a flaw. That's a major, major telltale. So, again, that's just one side of the shoe. Authentic. Replica. I would check out right away the placement also of where all the tags are. Okay? So let's get this straight. They actually got this pretty much on point. The made in China tag, they look exactly the same on the authentic and the fake. I don't think that's a good way to tell at all. There's the fake. There's the authentic. Pretty much look exactly the same. They're gonna be on that first lace hole, and when you get them, they should be laced up, which is correct. This is how they were. You're gonna want to look at the flaps. So that's the fake. That's the real. Look at that embossment. Crazy embossed. It's dark. Look at this. It's light. It's the fake. It's the real. This feels sturdy. This feels sloppy. Sturdy. Okay. On the other pair, the only thing I'll say is when you look at that off-white tag, you know, it's got to be hanging on that first lace loop there. Alright? Now they did it perfectly on this one too. I'm not even going to go into the toe box. I'm not even going to bother, because to me it was exactly the same. Double stitching, same material. I couldn't tell. I'm only going to show you guys ways that you can actually tell. Alright? So I would say the #1 way right now is that heel. I have to double check. This is the authentic, okay? Yeah, that's the fake with that heel. In terms of the actual text, what you're going to notice, and this is the authentic by the way. Remember? Look at the heel. Oh, Jesus. Come on. Look at that heel. Okay? The text, it's not perfect. There's some blotches, you know? See that? It's kind of blotchy. They nailed it on the fakes. It's kind of blotchy. Look at that E. So if your text is too perfect, that's a telltale sign. Just keeping in mind, this is an amazing, amazing, amazing replica. But there's still flaws. Now a lot of people said the USA flaw. I mean, that's kind of like, it's supposed to go through the S and the A. Yeah. That's the authentic. It's a replica. Text is slightly slanted. Notice that? Same here. The text to me was scary good. Like, authentic, fake. It's sad because if I were to see these on foot, I would absolutely just be like, oh shit, nice kicks. Now that I'm like, if I was close enough, I would just look at the heel. I'd probably be able to tell just from the heel alone, because it's not supposed to look like that. supposed to look like that. So let me get these organized again and we'll take another look, but one more time, let me check for myself. Yeah, these are authentic. Put them on this side. Yeah. Check that heel. Authentic. Check that heel. Replica. That heel. It's wrong. Let's double check that. You don't want to be mixing up your reals and authentics, yeah. Fairly quick comparison, and hopefully it's helpful to you. The last thing people want to be doing is obviously paying the price for an authentic pair and receiving a replica, and especially when they're this close. They're scary, scary close, and people are out there. Absolutely, 100%, I would say, selling their fakes as real on like a GOAT or maybe any of those other websites, those social media sites. And there's people out there that absolutely have this pair, that truly believe they are authentic, and have them right now in their hands wearing them and think they're authentic. A lot of people that have fakes also, they never intended to buy the fake. They intended to buy the real, and they just got had and they don't even know. So what I would do is, if you have a pair of these, go back and just double check. It's always good to double check. You can usually, if you're doing it through PayPal, still get your money back, even if it's been a long period of time. It's crazy. Down to the details. It's all here. It's stupid, man. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comments down below how helpful this was. If it was, of course, a thumbs up if you made it this far. I really appreciate it. Like the video, subscribe. Lots of other content. I have tons and tons of video ideas. I just, frankly, just haven't got the time to put them up. If you want to still see content, let me know. Dude Heat signing out. Peace.